There's this AI artist named Xania Monet, uh, who it's being reported just signed a record deal. Digital artist Xania Monet is the product of real life lyricist Talisha Jones and the AI platform Suno. So you could imagine as a working musician, I don't feel good about this. It feels like a pretty fucking terrible turn of events. Feels like something that shouldn't happen, but alas, here we go. This is the what the AI artist looks like, Xania Monet. And this article is on Consequence of Sound. Human lyricist Talisha Jones and her AI artist Xania Monet have together. They signed it together. It's like that. It's like that one meme of Trump where it's Trump's arm, but then it's Jesus's arm on top of Trump's arm. Like Jesus is signing the executive order to have people deported or have his enemies thrown in jail. It's like that sort of meme, but it's this person and their AI artist signing a contract for many millions of dollars. Um, Billboard reports Jones released the Xania Monet album Unfolded on August 8th, and since then, the TikTok earnest power ballad How Was I Supposed to Know has racked up 5 million streams across YouTube and Spotify. That's a lot of streams. That's more streams than my real life album from a real life person has. The Xania Monet voice isn't too far off from Beyonce's. Wow, I guess if you're gonna program your robot, you might as well aim for a home run. You might as well try to knock it out of the park. Aim high. Perhaps with the dash of Alicia Keys and the similarities between Queen, Queen Bey B. I don't know how you say it when it's like that. Are even stronger in the southern pronunciation of words like strength. Oh no, they programmed a regional dialect into the robot. Interesting. While Jones claims to write all of the lyrics, and this becomes important later, she uses the AI platform Suno to transform the words into full songs. Well, look at you transforming words into full songs. The deal is reportedly worth 3 million American dollars. 3 million. Must be fucking nice. And comes from Howlwood Media, which is a record label that I've never heard of. Best known for representing chart-topping producers like Murder Beats and Soundwave. Now, it's not the Soundwave that works with Kendrick, is it? I don't think so. From Hallwood's perspective, the deal carries a fair bit of risk. Oh, you don't say. You don't say that giving a fucking AI artist a big money deal is a little bit of a risk. To start, the YouTube comments suggest that many fans don't realize Anya Monet is an AI creation, which could lead to backlash as the news trickles out. Because what they're trying to do is, trick people into believing this is a real person and get buy-in from fans to support this artist that doesn't really exist. And then they want to use that to continue to stream the music. But then, I don't know. I feel like it's going to go wrong around the time when, folks are looking for a concert or something. Like, that seems like, it seems like the news might come out then if this artist releases a chart-topping album and there's never any shows or tour. That could be something that gets the information out there pretty quickly. AI is also an active area of litigation. Platforms from ChatGPT and Suno were trained on copyrighted material in a way that some have argued is illegal. Now, I already like that. This is where I really start to get pissed off anyway, because these companies behind these big AI platforms that do get trained on other copyrighted work are trying to argue for the validity of all of this. But it's like, hey, we come from hip hop where y'all told us we couldn't do that. We were trying to make art out of sampling copyrighted material and turn it into new things and make chart topping hits. Gilbert O'Sullivan told Biz Markie you can't do that, and the courts backed him up. The Turtles told De La Soul you can't do that. So and the courts sided with them. But it's like, oh, now we're gonna have this discussion all over again about whether or not there's any artistic merit in creating new shit out of old copyrighted material. Well, I feel like we've already gone down that road. We've already had this conversation. So it's so fucking interesting that now it's different. And I wonder if the courts, any of these courts, side with the big companies, does that open up a discussion for whether or not sampling is legal again? Does that become precedent for opening that up? I don't know. It's interesting shit, but I have no sympathy for these AI companies that are suddenly trying to make sampling. That's really all it fucking is. They're trying to make sampling legal because they want to make money. Just yesterday, record labels escalated a lawsuit against Suno, claiming that the platform was trained on songs ripped from YouTube. And earlier this month, Anthropic, the makers of Claude, I don't know what the fuck Claude does, but I feel like that's a terrible name for a platform. It just makes me think of the movie, the play, the musical Hair. It just makes me think of a half naked hippie man when we talk about the AI platform Claude. It's just a terrible name. Settled a lawsuit brought by book authors for $1.5 billion. Beyonce hasn't sued over the Xania Monet voice, but given the other lawsuits we've seen, she might have a case. That's interesting. Claude is ChatGPT, a different company. So it's a chatbot. Claude's big AI product is coding stuff. Okay, I've seen Claude ads on Twitch, and they use the all caps beat for their ads. What? Oh, that's so weird. Okay, Claude is fraud. All right. Even if Suno doesn't get sued into oblivion, the copyright law could prevent Hollywood from monetizing Xavier Monet. So they signed this AI artist. Well, I think this is a typo. They said Xavier Monet. It should be Xania Monet. So Hollywood Media has signed this AI artist to millions of dollars before they even know, copyright wise, if they're even able to monetize it. Meanwhile, there are real talented human musicians dying in the gutter. But they are putting up $3 million on an AI risk, and they're not even sure, they're not even certain if they're able to monetize it. The U.S. Copyright Office sanctions humans using AI as an assistive tool, but has said that they would not grant copyrights where expressive elements are determined by a machine. Interesting. So it seems like the Copyright Office is going to have a lot to say about how this all ends up. With Talisha Jones providing the lyrics, that's why it's important that Talisha Jones is providing the lyrics, because that's the only human element involved here. With Talisha Jones providing the lyrics but AI handling the composition and vocal performance, the Copyright Office has its work cut out for it. AI songs have had success with playlist placement in TikTok, but so far there's little evidence that generated music can capitalize on viral moments. In June, the AI band The Velvet Sundown, I have not heard of The Velvet Sundown, made waves for getting over 500,000 monthly Spotify listens, but just a few months later, they've already lost 40% of their streams. It seems difficult to maintain an audience, let alone grow it, when the artist and the pictures can't interact with the fans. Now, it doesn't seem like that's far off. So the real line of demarcation seems like you can't do a live show. So that seems like that's going to be a problem no matter what. But it doesn't seem far off that these same companies that are using AI tools to create songs and create social media videos on TikTok and Reels, that they'll come up with a way for these artists to be able to interact with fans in some way that seems realistic. That doesn't seem too far off at all, unfortunately. Okay, so that's that. And then there was this other article from The Verge that I thought was interesting. What happens when an AI-generated artist gets a record deal? A copyright mess. The only human-made element behind Xania Monet's acts appear to be the lyrics. This was published yesterday on The Verge. 2 weeks ago, record company Hollywood Media signed a deal with Talisha Nikki Jones after negotiations that purportedly included an offer of $3 million. Billboard reported. Jones is a Mississippi-based lyricist behind Xania Monet, whose most popular song has racked up over 1 million listens on Spotify, and whose reels regularly top 100,000 views on Instagram, despite her likeness, vocals, and music being AI generated. Multiple copyright art experts speaking with The Verge have been quite clear the law is not at all settled, but generally one cannot copyright AI-generated works by themselves without human intervention, but you may be able to secure copyright where there are human-made expressive elements, and in this case are the lyrics. So what exactly is Howard Media buying? What can they license? What does this mean for the future of music as a sellable product? The more questions we asked, the more it became evident that we're facing a cultural shift in the wake of a flood of AI generated content. The law is just trying to keep up. And our brains are trying to keep up. That's the other fucked up thing about all of this, is that like our minds, we're already torn apart by actual reality and people's notions shaping how people interpret actual reality, let alone flooding our systems with reality that's not even real, with false information meant to appear like reality. And I really wish we'd be a little bit more mindful of our own damn minds. That's the part that seems really scary to me. People are already fucking crazy. And current conditions do not seem like they're going to lead to a more sane society anyway. And now we're basically not, we're giving corporations the funding and license to create as much of this shit as they want in order to create a profit, and we just don't seem to care that it's gonna fuck up a lot of people's brains. I don't know. Seems like a good time for our government to try to protect people, but for some reason I don't think it's gonna happen. For some reason I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't know why, but I don't know why. It just doesn't seem like it. Let's see. Though the final payout amount for the record deal is unclear, it seems fairly obvious, but not explicitly labeled, that Monet's avatar on Instagram and album covers is AI generated. If you look closely at her videos, you can even see her fingers blob together. How fun is that? Make a nice viral finger blob video. That's how you make all your money these days. Viral finger blob video. Monet's music, on the other hand, is somewhat passable, likely due to the vast amount of material the AI model was trained on. Jones prompted the music with the AI music generator Suno, one of the two most popular AI music generators currently being sued by a trio of major record labels over en masse copyright violations. In response to 2024 lawsuit, Suno acknowledged in a court filing to use music found all across the internet to train its model. Jones's manager, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So apparently other labels were going to sign that artist before they learned that Suno was used to make the songs. Howard Media seems to put itself in a dubious position. While a record deal implies that Monet is potentially a money-making product, current copyright protections only potentially cover the human-made. We covered that already. Composition and full sound recording, which includes vocals, is not subject to copyright. A lack of copyright protection does not stop anyone from selling their art or music, Kevin Madigan, SVP of Policy and Government Affairs at the Copyright Alliance, told The Verge. A lack of copyright protection does not stop anyone from selling their art or music. That seems very confusing to me. They just might not have any way to enforce a copyright claim if someone rips the music and uses it in a commercial, for example. So that's interesting. So they can sell it either way, but then they can't enforce a copyright claim if other people bootleg it. That's fucking weird too. And that makes it even more of a risky proposition because, wow, okay, so they're going to try to copyright their work, which is based on other copyrighted work, which seems like a real way to make my brain explode. That seems fucking crazy. Okay, savvy buyer, copyright law question why they should purchase something they can get for free. Why am I paying you for this if you have no claim to the copyright? Okay. Well, here's a question for y'all. And we're going to move off of this real fast. Do you all, and you can type yes or no in the chat, do you all want to hear one of these songs? We'll let the morning gang decide whether or not we hear one of these songs. I'm very curious where we land on that. No, thank you. I'm good. Short selection. Not really. Not mostly no so far. Sure. Fuck it. Never. No. Not really. Looks like the no's are winning. It looks like the no's are winning. Okay. Look at a few more. Curious. No thanks. Look it up later. Say yes. Nope. Nah. Keep the devil tech away. All right, cool. Looks like no. And that's fine with me. That is quite fine with me. But that's where we're at. I noticed Timbaland made a lot of waves. Was it last year when he announced that he was going to try to start making AI artists, and people didn't like it. Now, apparently, these songs are doing well in this phase where people don't know if this artist is real or not. And the courts are going to have a say in how this goes. The copyright office are going to have a say in how this goes. And it seems like the more this information gets out, this seems like a real crossroads in terms of us seeing whether or not people will actually engage with an AI artist in this way, if they have the knowledge that it's an AI artist. This phase, it seems like they're just kind of getting away with it because most people don't know. It'll be interesting to see which way this goes once more people know about it, to see if this artist loses audience after this information becomes more readily available to people. Yeah, I'm a little. It feels weird to me that, like, because this seems like a tip of the spear kind of experiment, and it seems really interesting to me that it's happening with the image of a black woman like that. There's something really fucking strange about that to me. Well, I guess the other article also mentioned another band, the Velvet Sundown or some shit that maybe wasn't. Maybe that was some white folks or something. But this just seems oddly weird to me. Just with society's relationship to black women in general, it seems so strange that this sort of big money experiment, this big money gamble would happen with the image of a black woman. Like that, there's something uncanny, weird, odd about that. And I don't know. I'll have to look into some more smart people to see what they have to say about that. But it's wild shit. It's wild shit. But even though we didn't play the music, I'm gonna do a fucking palate cleanser. Like and subscribe, homie, friend. It's free. Stop playing.